It's your boy Crypto Blood. Hope you guys are having a great morning, Monday morning. Time to get on the grind and get some stuff done. Make sure you check out cryptoblood.io for latest Steam It posts, videos. You can see a list of my videos there, and Instagram and Twitter feeds if you want just one location to kind of get an update on what your boy is doing. Also, we've got apparel. I've told you guys about that, and a section under what's called Uncle Clif info, where we have Clif notes on some of his latest videos. So we actually will have another video and Clif note materials uploaded soon. I'm hoping later today or by tomorrow. So there will be another video plus Clif notes on a recent video that Clif did. So I'll let you guys know when that's ready, and you can check it out on cryptoblood.io. Hope everything is going well with you guys again today. Just kind of getting things going. I wanted to talk about an article that was actually it's out of Zero Hedge, but to the credit of Joe Marshall, one of my subs and followers, he sent this over to me, and I'm like, wow. Well, he sent me the title. I'm like, yo, what where's the link, man? I need to see this article. So he sent it over to me, and very interesting article out of Zero Hedge, and it pertains to the SEC, and they have taken their first legal steps against a company since their stance on what an ICO is, and or what an ICO would be considered under Securities Act. So let's take a look at that. So the article talks about the title of it is SEC files first ever civil fraud charges against ICO companies. So it goes on to talk about, after issuing a ruling in July that officially declared that the tokens sold during initial coin offerings must be registered as securities, a ruling that many hoped would lend a badly needed veneer of legitimacy to the shady ICO market. The SEC is following through with what we imagine will be the first of many civil actions against ICOs and the individuals who launched them. The agency on Friday announced civil actions against two companies and their founder, businessman Maxim Savlovsky, for violating anti-fraud and registration provisions of federal securities laws after misleading investors in a pair of so-called initial coin offerings purportedly backed by investments in real estate and diamonds. And I was talking to Truth Blitz and Mike B about this, and actually I didn't know this was the same thing, but article goes on to talk about it's important to remember that this is a civil complaint. The SEC doesn't have the power to make arrests to do that. It must work in tandem with the FBI. So Savlovsky is a free man right now, it says. However, his assets and those belonging to his company have been frozen, and instead the agency is seeking to permanently ban Savlovsky from participating in any future digital currency offerings, along with what we imagine will be hefty fines. Yeah, SEC doesn't play around with the fines, that's for sure. So the article goes on to talk about just like how the other regulatory agencies are starting to really take another look at this. And I also posted a video yesterday, a double spin video that showed John McAfee interviewing with Bloomberg about how China's coming down on ICOs and banning Bitcoin and such. So this, and I agree with McAfee, like you can impose you can create legislation for, you know, ICOs and cryptocurrencies in general, but what real power do you have in actually enforcing those laws? Very little. It's all decentralized. So, and I know I've said this many times before, but I just want to reiterate, like, for you guys out there maybe newer to Bitcoin, don't get scared out of your position, please, by these buffoons. So the article goes on to say, earlier today, FINMA, the Swiss government body responsible for regulating markets, said it was investigating several ICOs for possible fraud. In its press release announcing the investigations, the regulator explained that because ICOs are structured in a similar way to traditional stock offerings, they fall under the agency's purview. So every time it has received a complaint related to ICOs, its representatives have pursued the complaint. To the best of our knowledge, these are the first indications that any official regulatory action is being taken against ICO purveyors in either the U.S. or Switzerland. It also says that in its civil complaint, the SEC alleges that from 2017 in July to the present, Zavlosky, the president and sole owner of the companies, fraudulently raised at least $300,000 from hundreds of investors through various material misrepresentations and deceptive acts relating to supposed investments in digital tokens or coins offered first by Recoin and then by Diamond during the ICOs. Wow. So we will see what comes of this, ladies and gents. There are going to be people going to jail. I'm just going to tell you that. And so that's going to be the risk that you hold, that you kind of take on holding these ICOs even after the ICO has completed. At any moment, the SEC could come out and say, okay, this one did not follow the proper guidelines, so on and so forth. So, you know, it's scary. It really is. It's so funny how they want to protect you from things that really, it's such a small market, it couldn't be that big of an issue for the masses. And I was telling Mike B, and Mike B was also agreeing with me on this. You have to let people bump their heads, and eventually people will start doing their due diligence and really being smarter investors instead of relying on the SEC or any other agency to hold your hand. And really, they don't care. They really don't. They just don't want you to make any substantial money and circumvent the system called Wall Street and central banks. And you know how that whole thing goes. Like, you know, with ICOs, with IPOs, initial public offerings in equities, you have underwriters like JP Morgan will underwrite. I mean, all these different brokerage houses. Charles Schwab, you know, all these different houses, broker houses will underwrite IPOs and make millions and millions of dollars and skim off the top before it even gets to the public. We are eliminating that with ICOs, and they don't like it. I'm just letting you know. So let me know your thoughts on that article out of Zero Hedge. We've got it, the first one. First civil, and I'm sure, you know, as the article stated, the SEC can't go after criminal charges, only civil, but best believe there will be some criminal charges coming down the pipe, if not with these two ICOs, definitely future ones. So just keep that in mind when you're investing and you're hodling some of these ICOs. You could be smacked one day with news that such and such doors got kicked down and they're raiding and seizing everything, and so then, you know, boom, price of that token just goes to hell. So just be safe out there, people. Be smart, allocate, spread your risk. Don't have all your chicken in one. First, don't have it all in one coin or one token, but secondly, don't have all of your assets, your investments in ICOs either. Spread it out. Have some in Bitcoin and some of the actual cryptocurrencies is what we technically call them. Bitcoin, Litecoin, and some of the other ones. That's what I'm doing. Not giving you financial advice, but I'm just saying this is what, in a scenario like this, when we're in a landscape as such, I would diversify as much as possible. And don't love these tokens. You gotta take emotion out of it and just strictly stick to the numbers and your analysis on each token. So that's my 2 Satoshis for the day. It's your boy Crypto Blood. I'm out. Room full of cloaks and they count votes. Million man